Welcome to lecture on algebra and number theory. In this video, we shall see homomorphisms and isomorphisms. First, we shall see group homomorphism. So, for defining a group homomorphism, you need two groups. Homomorphism is a function, so you need two groups. Let G comma dot and H comma star be two groups, and let f from G to H be a function such that for all a comma b belonging to G, f of a dot b is equal to f of a star f of b. Then f is said to be a group homomorphism. To explain this, you are considering two sets, G under the operation dot and H under the operation star. So here you have two elements. From G you are taking two elements A and B, and of course as G is a group you will have an element A dot B. So if f is a function which maps G to H, then you will have A mapped to one element f of A. Similarly, B will be mapped to f of B. Now, as H is a group, you will have an element f of A star f of B. Now, this A dot B must be mapped to f of A star f of B. If it holds for all pairs A and B, then f is said to be a group homomorphism. Let us see some example. Let G is equal to the set of all integers Z under the operation addition, and H be the integers modulo set Z4 under addition modulo 4. Let us define f from G to H by f of x is equal to class x. This class x contains all the elements of this form. Actually, class x is a set which contains all the elements of the form x plus 4k, multiples of k, such that k belong to z. So, for each element of that set z, that is integers, we define f of x is equal to class x. Then we may note that f of x plus y is equal to class of x plus y, that is class x plus y. Here x and y are integers, and you add those two integers, and then the mapping will be class of x plus y. But this is equal to class x plus class y. This is under addition modulo 4, or for any addition modulo n, we have defined class x plus class y is nothing but class of x plus y. So this class x plus y can be rewritten as class x plus class y. Class x is equivalent to f of x and class y is equal to f of y. Hence we see that f of x plus y is equal to f of x plus f of y, where here the addition is under integers, it is an ordinary addition, and here it is addition modulo 4. So f preserves this binary operation on G and H. So f is a homomorphism. Next we shall see some basic theorem on homomorphism. Let G comma dot and H comma star be groups with identities EG and EH respectively. If f is a function from G to H and is a homomorphism, then f of EG is equal to EH, that is identity of G is mapped to identity of H. f of A inverse is equal to f of A whole inverse for all A belonging to G. That is, inverse is also preserved under this mapping. F of A power n is equal to f of A whole power n for all A belonging to G and n belonging to Z. Here, when you are multiplying A n times under the operation on G, and after that you are applying this function f, it will be equivalent to f of A multiplied n times with the operation on H. F of S is a subgroup of H for each subgroup S of G. So, while you are proving these all equalities, we should remember that f of one particular element belong to the codomain H, and that particular element you are taking from G. So, while you are operating some elements on G, you should use this operation notation dot, and while you are operating the same element after applying F, you should remember that the operation should be star. Now let us see the proofs. First, we are going to prove that homomorphism preserves identity. So, we are going to prove that f of EG is the identity element for H. So, for that, we consider f of EG star EH. We are going to prove that these two are equal. As EH is a identity in H, when you multiply any element with the identity, the result will be that same element. So, f of EG star EH is equal to f of EG. But in G, EG is the identity. So, EG can be written as f of EG dot EG. So, as f is a homomorphism, it has this property that when it is operated on each element, it will be equal. So, f of EG dot EG can be replaced by f of EG star f of EG. Now, we are having f of EG star EH is equal to f of EG star f of EG. You may note that the two elements in the left side of these operation are same. Here also we are having f of EG, here also we are having f of EG. So, by left cancellation law in a group, in the group H, we see that f of EG can be cancelled and remaining will have EH is equal to f of EG. So, the identity is preserved by this homomorphism. Similarly, we shall prove that homomorphism preserves inverse also. So, we are going to prove that f of A inverse is equal to f of A whole inverse. That is, the inverse of f of A is nothing but f of A inverse. For that, we multiply f of A inverse and f of A. As these two elements belong to the set H, we should use the operation star. By the definition of homomorphism, when you take this can be replaced by f of A inverse dot A. So, like taking f common out, the star will become dot. But in G, A and A inverse are inverse to each other. Hence, we will have this will be equal to f of EG. As A dot A inverse is equal to EG, you can write like this, f of EG. But by proof 1, we have found that f of EG is nothing but EH. That is the identity element of H. So, we have found f of A inverse star f of A is equal to EH. Similarly, we can prove that f of A star f of A inverse is also equal to EH. So, by the definition of inverse, we see that f of A inverse is the inverse of f of A. So, when you are operating two elements of a group and you are obtaining the identity element, means those two are inverse to each other. Hence, f of A inverse is the inverse of f of A and vice versa. So, in notation, we may write f of A inverse is equal to f of A whole inverse. Next, we shall prove that f of A power n is equal to f of A whole power n. Actually, this can be proved using mathematical induction, but for simple proof, let me write like this. F of A power n is nothing but f of A dot A etc. A n times. You multiply A n times and apply f. But actually, when you are multiplying or operating an element n times, we can't directly operate it to get another element. First, we will do the operation with two elements and then the next element and then the next element. Likewise, it goes like that. So, here f of A dot A can be written as f of A dot group these n minus 1 terms together and keep the first term alone. Then, as f is a homomorphism, we can replace this by f of A star f of A dot A. Here you are having n minus 1 A. So, similarly, after in this term also, you can write f of A star f of A dot A n minus 2 times. So, similarly, proceeding like this, you will have f of A star etc. f of A n times. So, that is nothing but f of A whole power n. Next, we shall prove that if S is a subgroup of G, then f of S is a subgroup of H. So, given S is a subgroup of G, as every subgroup is non-empty, S must be non-empty. So, if S is non-empty, the function after applying the function also, f of S will be non-empty subset of H. So, to prove that non-empty subset is a subgroup of a group, we have to prove two conditions. One is the closure law and another one is the inverse law. So, first we shall prove it is closed under the binary operation of H. So, for that you take two elements from f of S. Let x comma y belong to f of S. If two elements belong to the set f of S, then correspondingly you will have two elements a and b belonging to S such that f of a equal to x and f of y is equal to b. So, you can imagine these two sets. This is your G, here you are having H. You are taking one subset of G as S and you are having one subset of H, f of S. So, here it is given that S is a subgroup of G and our aim is to prove that f of S is a subgroup of H. So, here the operation is star and here you are having dot. So, here to prove f of S is a subgroup, we are going to prove the closure law and inverse axiom. So, for that you take two elements in f of S. We have to prove that x star y also belong to this set f of S. So, if x exists here, correspondingly you will have an element A in S such that f of A is equal to x. Similarly, you will have an element B in S which maps to y. So, as S is a subgroup of G, you will have A dot B in this set S. Our aim is to prove x star y belongs to f of S. So, x star y is nothing but f of A star f of B. As f is a homomorphism, this can be replaced by f of A dot B. This f of A dot B belongs to f of S, because from this you can see that A dot B belongs to G, which implies f of A dot B belongs to f of S. A dot B belongs to S, so that correspondingly f of A dot B belongs to f of S. So the reason have been written here. Since f is a homomorphism and A dot B belongs to S, we have f of A dot B belong to f of S. Hence, f of S is closed under the binary operation star. Next, we have to prove that if x belongs to f of S, then x inverse also belongs to f of S. So, if x belongs to f of S, then x inverse will be f of A whole inverse. Actually, we have taken x from the set f of S. So, correspondingly, we had an element A such that x is equal to f of A. So, we can write x inverse is equal to f of A whole inverse. But by the second proof of this theorem, we have proved that f of A whole inverse is nothing but f of A inverse. Actually, A belong to the set S. So, A inverse also belong to the set S, as S is a subgroup of G. So, f of A inverse belongs to f of S. So, after applying f, it will be an element of f of S. Hence, each element of f of S has an inverse in it. Thus, we have proved the two axioms. Thus, we have proved the required two conditions for a subgroup. Hence, f of S is a subgroup of H. Next, we shall see isomorphism. Here also consider two groups. Let f from G comma dot to H comma star be a homomorphism. As defined earlier, f is a function which satisfies the homomorphism condition. Then, f is said to be an isomorphism if f is one-to-one and onto function. If there exists a one-to-one onto homomorphism between G comma dot and H comma star, then f is said to be isomorphism, and G and H are called isomorphic groups. We denote like this: G is isomorphic to H. So, we may note the condition for one-one function and onto function. A function is one-to-one if f of x equal to f of y implies x equal to y. That is, if two images are equal, then their pre-images must be identical. A condition for onto function is, for every element b belonging to the codomain of the function, there must exist an element a belonging to the domain such that f of a is equal to b. That is, no element in the codomain should be left out without assigning. Let us see an example for isomorphic function. Let f be the function from R plus, that is the set of all positive real numbers under the operation dot, to the set of all real numbers under addition. Let it be defined by f of x equal to log x to the base 10. Here we may note that the set of all real numbers, positive real numbers under normal multiplication is a group, and also the set of all real numbers under addition is a group. So, when we define f like this, f of x is equal to log x to the base 10, then we may note that f is a one-to-one function. That is, if f of x equal to f of y, then as per the definition, f of x is nothing but log x to the base 10 and f of y is nothing but log y to the base 10. So, if we take antilog on both sides, we will have x is equal to y. So, we have seen the condition for onto one function to be true for this function. So, f is a one-to-one function. Similarly, we may see that for each element A belonging to R, that is for any real number R, we may find a positive real number B, with B is equal to 10 power A. You take any real number, you raise 10 to the power of that number, it will be a positive number only. So we may see 10 power 0 itself is 1, and 10 power minus 1 will 10 power minus 1 will be 1 by 10, that is equal to 0.1. So for any real number A, there will be a positive real number B, which is equal to 10 power A, such that f of B is equal to, as per the definition we can rewrite as log B to the base 10, and B we have taken to be 10 power A. By the properties of logarithm, we will have this one equal to A into log 10 to the base 10, which is nothing but A. So for every element B in the codomain, that is a set of all real numbers, you are having an element B in the set of all positive real numbers, which means the function is onto. Also we may note that f of x into y, that is the operation on the domain, that is you take two elements x and y in R plus, that is positive real numbers, then f of x dot y will be, by the definition, log x dot y to the base 10. By the property of log, this can be rewritten as log x to the base 10 plus log y to the base 10. So this can be replaced by f of x. So log x to the base 10 is only defined as f of x, and this can be replaced by f of y. So the operation, binary operation, is preserved. F of x dot y is found to be f of x plus f of y, so that f is a homomorphism. Thus we have seen f to be one-to-one onto homomorphism from R plus comma dot to R comma dot. Thus f is an isomorphism. We may say that the set of all positive real numbers is isomorphic to real numbers, but the operation in positive real numbers is multiplication, and the operation on the real numbers is addition.